The Penn State Nittany Lions are in the college football playoffs. The Sandusky special. Everything you want to see in Pennsylvania has made the playoffs. The greatest show on turf. Yeah, the greatest show on turf, as a lot of people say, especially those younger guys. Penn State, they have probably the easiest spot on the bracket. They go SMU, then they go Boise State, Mountain West team.
Yep.
So a lot of people are saying they're contenders. I want to talk real quick. Are they legitimate contenders?
No.
Well, let me know.
That's the whole point of the argument.
Tell me why not.
I guess we'll start with you.
No. These freaking idiots. These freaking stupid Pennsylvania idiots. So
we love our Pennsylvania fans.
No, we
do.
Maybe.
We do.
I don't think I could say that actually. Penn State as a university though, and as an organization, terrible, fraudulent, and stupid, and bad at football. Let me tell you something right now. So they actually might win this first game.
Talking to them.
Yep. They might win this first game.
They might.
Against SMU SMU. The only reason for that is going to be because of the torrential blizzards that are going to be coming through. Again, we're not talking about that though. We're talking about them and their chances of being contenders. Let me tell you why it's
Stopping
not.
himself.
So again, please excuse me. Regard me. Love
that.
So Penn State, excuse you. Get your arm out of my way, please.
All right, Mike.
Again, I'm sorry. Anyways, pretty much what I'm trying to say is that their offense under Drew Lock.
What was that?
What I'm trying to say is that their offense under Drew Lock.
Yeah, I haven't heard a thing yet.
I think their offense under Drew Lock, when facing actual defenses and actual pressure, is ineffective and cannot move the ball down the field.
Wow.
I think a prime example of that is facing Ohio State. Granted, they had gone into Ohio State played them at Penn State. Wow, even better. Even more so my point. Ohio State, in actual real defense, shut them down, didn't allow their offense to score a single touchdown. Do I think it said more about Oregon's defense that they were able to score points? Yes. I think it means that we overvalued Oregon's defense.
Can it also mean that Penn State's offense is actually really good?
It cannot.
No. I was just making sure for the viewers.
The reason why is because if you look statistically, these guys in the passing statistics, they have maybe a couple hearsay, one or two stats that put them in the top 15. For the most part, they're top 35 and everything else. They're not actually effective and not nearly efficient enough to be in this college football playoffs against elite competition. So no, Penn State is not a contender. Goodbye. End the story. Thank you very much.
That was beautiful.
All right.
Well said.
That might have been on me for leading off with Mike there. Sorry about that. I'm genuinely impressed with Penn State and how they played Oregon. That was a great game on offense from them. They were able to move the ball. They were able to score on the consensus number one undefeated team in the country. I didn't think they were going to win that game, but I was really, really impressed with how they fought and how they battled. They have by far the easiest route as well. So you put those two things together, it's obviously a contender. I think they're borderline lock to be in the semifinals. If there's one team I'd say is the favorite to be in the semifinals, it would almost have to be Penn State. I mean, they are 8.5-point favorites against SMU, and then the projected line, 14.5-point favorites against Boise State. So these are both supposed to be blowouts to get them into the Final Four, where they'll likely play a Georgia without a QB or a Notre Dame team that's Notre Dame. Maybe, Indiana, whatever, whoever gets out of that. It's probably not Indiana out of that, trio. But then, that's the game to get to the Natty. So obviously, I think the answer is yes, they're contenders. They do have a ranked Power 4 win, unlike either their first-round opponent or second-round opponent. Neither of the two teams they're playing have beat a ranked Power 4 team yet this season to get to the semis. This is a walk. But I do want to note, James Franklin, awful coach, doesn't win in big spots. I don't think either of these two first games are big spots, though. So I think this is a normal walk through the first two rounds. Then they might get overvalued. You can bet against them. But do they have a chance? Yes. To make it there, I just wouldn't bet on this team to win. So I think they're obviously a contender because of how far they're probably going to get, almost certain. But do I think when they get to the Final Four, they're going to be a team to pull it out? The answer is no. So I'm kind of like Mario with Ohio State, I guess, where it's like fringe for different reasons.
Yeah, I love this Penn State team. I think they're going to go I would love to bet on them, even though I'm not going to because there's no reason to. I think it's a great bet to bet them to win the championship. Not only their path, just the only two teams they've lost to this year were Ohio
Plus 550.
Yeah, 550, great number. Only two teams they lost to were Ohio State and Oregon. Ohio State, they turned the ball. They had 3 red zone turnovers, a pick in the end zone, and one stop was on like the 15-yard line. The other stop was on the 4 times.
Yeah, half-yard line.
So like they had a very good chance to win that game multiple times, and you know what? Just didn't finish the job. It's like maybe it's Franklin, just like how Ryan Day sucks in certain situations.
Yeah, Franklin's been bad for like a decade.
Yeah. Also, Ohio State, best defense in the country. Just happens. You faced a better team, possibly. Oregon, neck and neck, all the way down. Dylan Gabriel had one of those games where he wasn't going to lose the game. He played perfect. So like he looked. Yeah. He looked like a vet playing quarterback back there, and like they weren't going to lose, and they just went through Penn State's defense. I don't think that's a representation of Penn State's defense. I think they're a little better, and they'll show it in these games. But yeah, I think Penn State's a great all-around. I think they're a perfectly balanced team. Their defense can step up in times. Offense, Drew Lohr needs to protect the ball a little more. I know in the Oregon game he was kind of trying to do a lot because they had to score 40.
At the end, it got a little sloppy.
He tried because he realized there wasn't enough time to start. Start scoring. He needs to protect the ball better. Their running game is there. They have 2 great running backs. They have the best tight end in the country, in my opinion, in Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren's a beast.
So like
First-rounder.
I think everything's there. It's just the fact if they want to put it all together. So I think they're contenders for sure. I like this team, obviously the path, and they're playing teams that beat up Georgia, like you said. If they get this far, beat up Georgia or Notre Dame or Indiana team, I think Penn State might be favored could be favored in all of them, depending on how they do in the first 2 games. So I think Penn State's very good team.
I agree with that, and they're massive favorites, like we said in the first
exactly.
two. Mario, legitimate. Is Penn State legitimate? A, because of their team, or just because of their path?
I said this last week. I owed Penn State an apology.
You did.
Yeah, I remember the apology letter.
Apology tour from Mario.
Yeah, it is. Tour. And because, I mean, they've impressed me.
He's coming for you.
Who?
Breaking records. Taylor Swift. You're on tour. You're breaking her tour record numbers.
Okay.
Sometimes, Mike, you just swing and miss sometimes.
You miss every chance you don't take or every shot you don't take.
That's 100% true.
Yep. Great.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I don't know if you necessarily miss.
Shut up.
Okay. No. Anyways.
That was a bucket.
No, this team has impressed me late in the season, and I actually do think they are a contender. I view this team very similarly to... that's how Mike people say it. But,
the rice eaters.
Oh, wow.
Stay with me now.
Oh, God.
No, but they're in that same realm as Ohio State for me. It just comes down to they have a much easier road. So any team that I think... I love them making it, being almost essentially locked in the semis. And then I personally like them in any of those matchups. So there's a good chance they're
just the Georgia, Notre Dame, Indiana trio. Yeah.
So there's a good shot in my worldview that they're going to be in the national championship. And at that point, it's like you never know what could happen.
Yeah, a couple point spread.
It's
plus you're carrying a $5.50 ticket. If you want to hedge out, hedge out for even money.
That's true,
but yeah, I think everything Ryan said, this team is just well balanced. They have a good defense. Their DBs one-on-one were getting cooked by Oregon, but Oregon has some of the best receivers.
They have everything.
And that O-line for Oregon was giving Gabriel enough time. And,
it's ridiculous.
If he has 4 seconds to let his receivers run a route, it's going to be hard to guard anyone. But I think his defense is good. Offense is good. Drew Lohr has impressed me late in the season. Great run game. I don't know much about James Franklin. I know the record is not good. I just personally haven't watched much Penn State over the years.
You're lucky.
Yeah. I have watched Ryan Day.
Against mostly Michigan and Ohio State, though.
I assume it's kind of similar to Ryan Day.
Yeah.
But yeah, just easier route. So I like Penn State contender.
Please, Penn State. One more thing.
Yeah.
Just please, for the Big Ten's sake, don't lose these first 2 round games.
Oh yeah.
If you win, if Penn State wins these first 2 rounds, Big Ten has nothing to worry about because no matter what, not everything works its way out. Oregon is going to have to play Ohio State, or one of them will move on. Penn State will move on. Maybe Indiana. Just don't lose because I don't want to hear the slander from the world.
Oh, if they lose to
Penn State
SMU,
loses to SMU. SMU, I don't mind.
Or
SMU
Boise.
I don't mind.
Boise
No, Boise would be the end of my life.
Oh my god.
End of my life. Boise State, end of my life.
Nuclear
No, I
missile.
don't. SMU, I don't mind because they've proven they played Clemson to the wire. They've proven they were an ACC championship.
No, Boise
Would you start a hate list and put them on?
Well, no, they would. The Big Ten would all absolutely disown Penn State.
No, it'd be
after
bad.
the words, after everything that all the power conferences were talking about Boise, about
No,
how
if it was- if it was Boise,
if
it
they
would be
go
end of the
and
world.
beat in a neutral site
SMU I
Penn
can live
State,
with.
you're totally right. I didn't even think about that. That makes it so
That'd be
electric.
No, that makes.
Crazy.
That's why I need a
That'd be
shout out.
crazy.
They might lose
I
now.
need a quick shout out. I need a quick one. All right.
That's electric. Well,
That all of a sudden makes that a big spot for James.
yeah, I know. I kind of. No, I didn't think that.
See
but-
the way I do that?
Yeah.
No, I like to weave. I like to weave there. Let us know what you think. Are they a real contender? Does Boise have a real shot? We're going to talk about that in the next week after Penn State probably takes care of business this week. Let us know what you think in the comments. Drop a subscribe if you're not already. Stay with us. We're moving this week.
Brrr.